What is going on, everybody? Good afternoon for those of you in my time zone, and good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you might be. I am so incredibly happy to be calling this race today for you. My name is John Burkhead. Welcome to the Baron Heroes Journey Seed. Today's hero is Kane, and we have all kinds of things to talk about in regards to the flags. The high point of which would be that this is in fact push B to jump, which is very appropriate with a Kane arrow. I am joined with Aranor. Aranor, how we doing, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing all right. It's my first time doing comms in months. Kind of wish I'd read the flags first. Push B to jump and I do not get along, mostly because I am bad at it, and I blame the flags. But we have two wonderful runners here on Restream and others that are racing this that I'm certain are quite capable of putting on a show for us today.
And they have a pair of really nice naming schemes.
They do. They do. How many bosses will you skip? How many memes will you miss? Ooh, I like that. It's got a little flow to it there. Of course, for those of you not familiar with push B to jump, all kinds of shenanigans can happen. There are tiles on the overworld and in caves that automatically start fights. In places like ordeals, or if you're doing a hook route, you can actually just go ahead and skip right over it. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of divergence we get, what kind of tactics we get, where people go first. There's a lot that you can do with this flag set.
Yeah, there is even a meta with having Kane in the party, I believe, and jumping over the behemoth spots
Correct.
in the way to cave value.
There are, as you dive into the intricacies of the flag sets, you can put on things like making sure that when you go into the sealed cave, that the doors are trap doors no matter what. And you can also do things like we've done today, which is to make sure that the trap tiles that exist to have mandatory behemoth fights in Cave Bahamut are on. So with our hoppity jumping Dragoon of Betrayal, we can go ahead and hop over each of those tiles, and that is our meta objective for today. Speaking of objectives, let's look at the objectives we have here. Does anything really strike out at you?
I like that it's a good mix. There's no boss hunt, which I do like a good boss hunt, though.
Yeah, in fact, we even have free item on. And the lack of a boss hunt is pretty significant because sometimes if you're at a place like Ordeals, or if you're diving, if you're kind of cheesing the hook route without doing any of the fights, sometimes you have to do a save spot to check to see if one of your required bosses is there. This should optimize the run for our runners because they're not going to have to do that.
Although with Cecil being restricted and to get Cecil, we can always hope that that giant doubles up and forces the 5 out of 6 to be 6 out of 6.
That is very true. It is worth noting that we do have a vanilla giant on, and that means that once you go up there, you cannot get off. So you got to make sure that you are A, ready, and B, that you have your safe spots intact. I do believe that you can jump over the element spot. We'll find out when we get there because we are on our way.
You can jump, yes.
All right. So we've got Kane and Rydia with the Leviathan and Spoon.
I saw some Dragoon stuff there.
Yeah, we do have the defense kit on. Both of our runners opting not to take Rydia. This is permajoin, so should they have elected to take her, she would have been there from the get-go. But Kane, pretty rough, man. First they burned down her mom's town, and now just leaving her all by herself. That's rough, buddy.
As our restreamer Alchemy is pointing out, it is not C-buy though, so they can always pick that Rydia up, especially if they're planning for Slingshot later.
Oh, that's a good point. Like I said, I'm bad at these flags. All right, Ty Bolt is heading over to Mysidia.
Free characters are on.
Yeah, free characters. All right, and look at that little hoppity hop. Meanwhile, Scarzer is showing us how I don't need no stinking hook, and we can go ahead and go right down the hook route.
A Rosa and an Edward. I think the Rosa will probably be taken.
And Spoon Flag is on, so they might be taking that Eddie too.
Oh, yeah, starting Spoon. Forgot about starting Spoon.
We are shopping down in Cave Eblin. We have Hourglass 2s. We are on S standard, which means you'll have your tier 5 items in gated shops. So you'll find things like hourglasses or Bacchus wine, coffins, and things of that nature. High Bolt heading straight to Ordeals. This will not only be another character check, but also with the ability to jump over bosses, we can have Kane going ahead and more than likely getting through the altar.
Vanilla Edge with a slightly moved King Queen Eblin fight there on the hook route.
Yeah, it kind of looks like his dad, kind of like, I don't know, slapped him around a little bit. That's a little disturbing. But Edge is a wonderful, wonderful character. With Sea Hero being on, Kane is our hero. Kane's agility will be what determines the speed of everybody. And while you can go ahead and use things like Drain Spears or Cursed Rings to slow him down, generally speaking, you're going to want folks that are quick with a Kane hero, and Edge certainly fits that bill. So Edge is a pretty immediate take no matter what.
Scars were showing us another jump, and there was an edge up there on Ordeals that Tipple picked up.
Yeah, and we do have no dupes on, so that will be the only edge for both of our runners. Scarzer is showing us some very nice optimization strats here with the jumping around. This game has just a tremendous amount of specific information to get used to in the first place. So to be able to go ahead and have that extra layer of knowledge to go ahead and optimize the runs is very impressive to see.
Ooh, Evil Wall at top tower there.
Yep. You could actually hop over and take that right now. I just don't quite see the point in doing all of that. But Scarzer is now already underground. With the kits, we did have some. We have a little bit of money. With an edge, you imagine you want to go ahead and pick up things like Ninja Blades and things of that nature. Tybolt has the one hourglass. If Edge can survive long enough to go ahead and throw it, we should be okay. Now, Hourglass 1 is not going to last as long as the Hourglass 2, but hopefully we have a way of going ahead and taking these runners out. I do see 2 Ninja Stars down there, so those could easily be thrown.
Yeah, I'm surprised none of them, given that it's push B, you can break a few things, even more so than with getting on the ground. You can, for example, get what would be on the Crystal Altar in the Cave Magnus. I'm surprised none of them have done that yet.
Yeah, that's a solid point. It looks like they're trying to go ahead and get gear in their own specific way. Just an Assassin Dagger there for Tybolt. Probably not exactly the gear that he was looking for.
Olivia Orb, though, with that Rydia to spare.
Yeah, that's certainly not a bad thing. And I believe that was a tower key in the Famous Furby, if I saw that correctly. So, these NPCs are the worst. I will give credit to Push B to Jump that it is gratifying. Like that red robe, that dark imp that Scarzer just passed by. That thing gets me caught up all the time. So it's got to be very gratifying just to be able to go ahead and hop over there.
A question in chat about Push B in combat. Yes, that's one of my favorite things about this flag. Is especially if you're facing a Val somewhere rude, everybody can jump.
Correct. Silk Webs and Cure 3s, again, probably not the equipment we were necessarily looking for here. With some levels on Kane now, Tybolt going back up Ordeals, and will more than likely hop right over to the altar. This always makes me personally a little bit wary, I suppose, because you hop over, that's fine. My issue is, me personally, I always end up accidentally hitting the trap tiles on the way back.
Yes.
But we have one hop, and
Missed
right into some kind of Mylon. Maybe it's vanilla, as my cat walks all over the keyboard. So let me go ahead and try that again.
Yes, the spaces you want to jump are the ones right outside of the bridge.
Mm-hmm. So,
I myself like a good push B, so.
There we go. Yeah, really? To each their own, I suppose. All right, so we're not on a boss hunt. That was a Golbez and a Karate down there in the Fey March for those keeping track. Cecil is in the sea somewhere. He's one of our gated characters, so it certainly would be worthwhile to maybe try to find Cecil first to make that that karate fight free at least. And Scars are showing more strats, more push B. Very impressive.
Speaking of
Speaking of,
Valvalis,
there it is.
and got an Artemis bow for this effort.
Yeah, I love a good arty bow. Now, Tybolt did throw on the Assassin Dagger, which goes ahead and speeds Kane up quite a bit. The spot is a little bit on the slower side. A little surprised he didn't jump before the week, but it looks like he realizes just how much time he has. He'll do a safety cure 2 here, but I think he should be fine. But this is rude. I mean, with C Hero, if you have like a Tele hero and you find Val here or something like that, it can just be absolutely miserable. Scars are finding our free characters that Tybolt already found. Let's see if Scarzer considers keeping Eddie in the party with the spoon in there.
Seems not.
And that's an unfortunate wipe for Tybolt. We'll go ahead and kind of take a second stab at it. Val is rude. It's very rare that you come across a Valis fight that is a gimme. It can happen, but it certainly does not happen terribly often. So it's certainly understandable. There might be some issues here. Scars are picking up some extra Star Veils. Always good to have. We know where that Golbez is. And there are a handful of other bosses where they certainly come in handy. If you have a D-Lunars, you're trying to do some frog strats, or should you have a Wyvern that where the flare is going to be on, or a Bahama coming up. So Star Veils are always a nice thing to go ahead and pick up if you have the money.
Or if you'd like to just zerk up your party and face off against Inashura.
This is true. This is very, very, very true. So we seem to have changed the strat a little bit. In light of push B to jump, we are in fact jumping. Okay, speaking of jumping, my cat once again jumping all over my shoulders. Apologies for that. Oh, swear to God, it's like having a kid. Tybolt gets through the fight.
It is. I call my cats, they're like a bunch of little toddlers.
Yeah. Of course, my cat at 5 months old was a lot more capable than than my daughter was at 5 months old, but still. Sheila 1, what you got for us today? Legend Sword. Forge is one of our requirements, so that is half required. So, Tybolt has gotten through ordeals. Moment of truth here. Can we be careful? Beautifully done by Tybolt. Excellent. Good, 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 good. Scarzer has already been underground. Set up Sheila 1. Gets the automatic heal. And now we'll be seeing who is at full defense today. Yeah, we got
just a couple stabby imps.
Yeah. So, Scarzer already underground. Has already picked up a bunch of J items here. We've got... Big Bomb, we've got Hourglasses. This is very much in hand. All of the characters are in the back row. Back row glitch is off, and of course that won't matter for things like J items. It'll be interesting to see if Scarzer, if this is a conscious decision he's making because of the fact that the HP totals are so low here, and the fact that it looks like we're utilizing Flame, which of course doesn't need to be in the front row either. It'll be interesting to see as the seed progresses if he goes to more straight-on melee attacks, if he goes ahead and puts his melee attackers in the front row.
I think they were at the front row when it started. I think he did a change quick.
Oh, okay.
And Tybolt picked up the Rydia from the tower.
And oh,
Darkness Crystal Seeds open up.
So where's Tella? Or do we not say that?
Oh no, I say it. I mean, you have that Rydia sitting around. It's great for a slingshot.
And great for restream also.
Ouch.
Yeah.
The Lukiki was on bedward all along.
Yeah. So speaking of, you had mentioned earlier Cave Magnus to be able to go ahead and mostly cheese. This is another one that you can largely cheese as well. You can't get away from the second fight, but you can hop over the first. So this is 2 character checks, and it is a much faster check than normal with push P to jump being put on.
Given the set of characters you have, would you be looking for the Flame Dog?
No. I mean, with no, I don't think so. Um, Honestly, if I know I have free underworld access and I have an edge, um, I'm thinking I'll probably do some free looting and get some money and get some ninja blades because then I'm there and I'm good to go, or even drain spears. Um, Knowing I have that access, I'm not really looking for the time there. It's free-ish. I think they started with both a Blizzard Spear and a Ice Brand, but I don't see getting that time back necessarily. So we know that it's going to be an Odin at Dwarf 2. Um, that's a Porum and some old guy.
Yeah, just a nice little mop sitting around.
Well, that's interesting. That's very, very, very interesting. Number one, I wonder if Scarzo might have taken the Rydia so that you have warp for the warp glitch, and if you do enough, not taking Fu right away. Okay, all right. Maybe Tybolt wants that Cecil with the 5th spot. Um, Fu opens up demachining with early Darkness Crystal. Of course, Tybolt doesn't know that yet. Oh boy.
Is this Witchburn? Wyburn? Why? It's Witchburn. Cold Mist.
Yeah. Yeah, normally with Hero being on, it's typically a Witchburn situation. Um, the good news about coming here early is that Kane's agility won't get to be too high, but this is dangerous. I would really consider using Rosa to get Rydia up, just so that you can get some bodies up. Those ninja stars are guaranteed to do 2,000 each. I think if Edge can get one more off, we should be fine. But this is a little troubling. I don't know.
With the speed, I'm not sure it will.
Yeah, and that's that. So, if you're not looking to take Eddie, they both have had the opportunity to. It's hard to find a better boss to use that spoon as a dart than this one, in my opinion.
True.
So we might see that as a bit of an adjustment here. Scarzer is following in Tybolt's footsteps. Skarzer's going to have the information about Darkness Crystal, though. They have 2 spots available, and like you and Alchemy pointed out, you have nice meat knife. That's good for Edge. You have a Rydia that is just sitting there that can be taken, and like you pointed out, can be slung, and a Fu that will eventually learn Weak. So I wonder if we're going to see Scarzer, number 1, pick up Fu, and then number 2, pick up that Rydia. We also have to go to the Giant anyway. It might not be hard required, but it is an objective, so you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. So a lot of options for our runners here. It'd be interesting to see what they do next.
The complete the sealed cave. Is that just grabbing the item, or does that require defeating the boss?
I do believe that it requires beating the boss. I think that's when the alert goes off. So, Tybolt taking a second stab at it. Might drop down his battle speed. He's gotten a lot more actions off before that wall's gone off here, and he was able to go ahead and hold on to his spoon. Scarzer picks the Porum, does not take the Fu. I am a little surprised by that.
And is choosing to walk out of Zot.
So we won't, or he's saving first, because you won't get the key item with this. So again, more heads-up tech. It's not every day that you see, runners that are that you save before Zot 2. You know what I mean? It's really, really, really. Scars are showing off a lot of very impressive tech here. So a really strong showing from both of our runners. It's good. Tybolt able to go ahead and make adjustments and get through, which is great. So Rosa will be learning Exit, which will help you for routing. And let's see what our key item is. Ooh,
That's not bad. An Avenger with Kane there.
that's not bad at all. I have often said that, I'm very lucky to have someone that looks at me in my life the way that Pasta Morpheus looks at an Avenger. Not only is it great for attacking, but it's also great for fast anchoring. You get a nice solid agility boost there. So Tybolt, who of course is one of our better runners in the game, he knows to go ahead and throw that on for the agility boost. There's a Tela that probably won't be taken if I had to imagine, especially with the Fusoya that is available for the taking. And especially this second spot over here at Baron Inn is quite slow. So having a speedy Cane should make it all but free.
And there's Baigen down. Let's see who's behind.
Some kind of guard.
That would be the, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of
Slightly
pressure
moved.
Here. Yeah. So, there are a handful of bosses where having the Avenger on can be a little bit dangerous because of counterattacks. This might be one of them, but I still think we're going to be largely okay. That flame will still go off even with the size. That Assassin Dagger is tempting. Could probably get a nice solid swoon proc here, but I think 2 more Piggy Strikes and we're free. We're home. Scars are having a little bit of difficulty at Wyvern, just as Tybolt did. Really shows how heads up that safety save was, and I'm sure he can go ahead and make adjustments, dropping down battle speed to take care of it the second time around.
And Tybolt's through, getting the Twin Harp. I'd love to see that.
Do you love to see it because we're doing commentary, or do you love to see it because you sincerely enjoy that item?
I love music.
I do too, but you know, this particular flag set. Oh yeah, Fiery bring up a good point that we're probably not going to get the music here because you can just go ahead and jump right over what you had mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I do love the music though.
That's fair. Oh, listen, I love the actual music part of it. Yes, it's the check that makes me a little bit on the sad side of things. So we've got Scarzer, who just yeeted the spoon, a decision I wholeheartedly agree with. We have Tybolt now showing off all kinds of fancy tech. Why would you need a Baron key to do the Baron checks? Absolutely not. We're just going to go ahead and hop over. Fiery, I'm with you. I usually just hop over the guards. Tybolt went over to the right-hand side, which I didn't even know was possible. But there it is.
Yeah, that's a new one to me. I thought he was going straight in for Odin.
Yep. So here's another dangerous boss to have that Avenger on. We have no back row glitch. And this could get pretty spicy pretty quickly. Earlier I'd said, there are certain bosses that why would you want to hold on to your spoon? This might be another one, because this could get pretty dangerous pretty quickly. This is not the slowest spot in the world. The magic defense is pretty high here, so that flame's not going to do all too much. We might be seeing some plan Q, and brother, here's
some gloves.
So what we're really hoping for is for Kane not to get struck down here. That's what we're looking for. So we're looking for a nice CPU. Some nice chip damage with Artie Sammy Bow. Also with front row edge. There's about 3,300 HP in that CPU spot. That Rosa going down.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think we're through here now. So really nice fight for Tybolt, and Rosa getting up means Rosa's going to get the experience. So very, very well done.
Expertly.
Yeah. Again, Tybolt is an experienced runner. He's one of our better runners in the community. He knows all kinds of games as well. So not at all surprising to see him doing well.
A duplicate edge.
Yeah. So. Cute, nice little dance, but won't be doing a whole lot for us here. Let's see who is sacrificing themselves in the name of being stoned and frozen to protect the glory that is Baron Castle. Oof. Ooh.
I'm sure he'd prefer to be on the hook route right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of, Tybolt still hasn't been underground. I'm certain that he's aware that he can be underground. So there's a lot of flexibility with the routing. Scars are opting to go there right away. There's a rat tail, but no hook. So despite all the hopping shenanigans, we are going to have to wait for that one to get turned in.
Yeah, I think he's been doing the checks on the overworld, trying to find that Cecil, trying to find all that sort of thing.
Yep. So, looks like we're going to be sort of getting music, but not really, if we can catch the chocobo. Scarzer gets the delightful news that Baron has been run by Hal the whole time. And, yeah, I guess you and I get to go ahead and kind of keep on chatting here. The joys of Quick Speedy Jump.
Skipping that paralyzation, that cutscene at
Correct.
the entrance.
Really, really heads up there. That first jump there is quite significant. And by the end of it, with all the jumps, he'll end up back in Terraria, correct? Like you hop, 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 and then you end up back in there, if I recall correctly.
I don't remember. It's been a bit since I've done it.
Yeah, I actively avoid this. I was so excited to have a day to do commentary. And then I was streaming earlier today. I was like, John, you signed up for Push Me to Jump comms? It's like, did I? Did I though? All right, so our in logic hook. Well, there's our hook. We can get
That's
underground
lovely.
again, and we can turn in that rat tail. Um, we're going to go ahead and trigger the cutscene here, which means that we are going to hear a little bit of music before we hop on out of here. So Eddie, with his courageous 9-foot limp, I guess, to rock out. So I guess you and I can be quiet for a hot second, and let's see what music that they have in store for us today. I'm not sure if we're able to get the audio over to Typeold side, but if we can, we'll get some music for you.
Looks like Sorcerer is through Baron for now, though.
And we hop out. And got some cuddle time with Bedward, and I don't know. All the things that I want to say, I probably shouldn't say on Restream. So, Typeold is through Cave Magnus, and we'll see if Scarzer is going to go ahead and follow suit. There are those Ninja Blades. So they weren't underground. I'd be selling that Ninja shirt. I'd be selling the farm, quite frankly, to get at least just one of those. Those really open things up. A little hesitant to get rid of the Blizzard Sphere. I don't
Even
blame
drop
them.
off the exits now.
Yep.
People heading up, launching not only the hovercraft, but getting a young.
Yep. That I feel like Yang is gonna go right back there. Not great. Um, yeah, no. That's an easy pass on this particular flag set. Although, if you do end up doing a D money, um, if you were to do a dual, um, what you call it, trying to get
Oh,
yeah, for both Rydia and for Yang. I mean, kaboom, kaboom, go the levels for him. So
oh yeah.
yeah. So Nathaniel, basically, because this game is perfectly coded, if you hop out of there, I guess because of the way that the Eddie seed or the Eddie scene of him playing the harp coincides with the location of the twin harp fight. When you hop through the door, you end up going right back to where Eddie's at.
And it's Octomam into Odin here at Dwarf.
Yep, so that Avenger's gonna come in quite handy. Not only because the first spot is slow, but when you do 3 attacks onto Octomam, a tentacle goes down. Every 2 additional hits, another tentacle goes down, and as the tentacles go down, Octomam gets slower and slower. Runax was not equipped, And that might have been a little bit of a mismenu there with the life pot. So this pot does punch a little bit.
Let's
Tybalt's
see
gonna
what the rat tail gives here.
Yeah, this is our first look at it. Oh, the pass.
Yeah,
Pass always nice to
that's
have.
good.
Absolutely. Makes it. I personally, I enjoy diving a good moon early. I don't have quite the abilities that maybe a Judge Joe does, but I do enjoy a good early moon dive. And having the pass in hand certainly makes a decision like that a lot easier to justify. So it's just another case of more options for divergent routing, right? I mean, we can go anywhere. Tybolt is now kind of retracing Scarzer's steps, but getting underground. So eventually he'll be getting the information about the Darkness Crystal. You know, we have the Giant, which is required. We have Cave Bahamut, which is required. We have Cecil, which is required and could easily be sitting on the Lunar Dais right now. Do you head up there? Do you D-machine? Do you, what's your plan of action here? There's a lot of things to go ahead and consider. Not to mention the fact that with T Wildish, I believe there's around a 60% chance of a Moontrap chest, not counting not hair dryers or last arm, but a Moontrap of having a tier 8 item. So that can be an adamant, and that could be a holy sword for a Cecil that you're looking for. There's a lot of things that you can go ahead and do here. So really, it's just a matter of how our runners feel best to go ahead and optimize their checks.
Our tracker there, Fiery Blizzard, saying it's more than 60% even.
Ah. As a music teacher, I can only count to 4, so apologies, chat. Alright, only 3,000 HP at this spot. The physical attack is not much. This is really kind of a gimme cutscene in the original game. The spot is a little bit on the quicker side, but it's not terribly challenging. Everyone gets XP. Kane gets the XP even though he's down because he's the hero. It's worth noting that we don't have anyone that can cast Warp, so this will not be 2 key items, this will be 1. Scarzo does have the Luca key, and this is another spot where you can hop right over the boss, but it is time.
Well, but also Sealed Cave is an objective.
See, there's that rating thing too. So numbers and letters. Other than numbers and letters, I'm pretty solid. Most of the time. All right, so we're gonna see what our item is from Dwarf Castle. do you want to say it or should I?
We can get underground now.
There it is. Ooh, a little pep in there. Hieroglyphics. I don't know, Fiery. Well, we can try it. You know, I like those books where like the pictures pop up. Those are nice. So you know.
Look, I'm sure you can do, like every good boy does fine, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I have a whole rant about that. Selling the cursed ring. That I don't know. And getting another one. I don't know that I would have done that necessarily. If you know that, is he gonna sell the other one? All right. I mean, you know Cecil somewhere, right? I mean,
Yeah, but see hero Kane. Do you really want a curse ring on Kane?
I mean, with the tier 5 shop, if I find a Drain Spear and I have Drain Spear Cursed Cane, I'm now anchored, and I've got an Edge and a Cecil and a Rosa and a Black Mage. Me personally, yeah, I would just let him go ahead, Captain Average, just go ahead and take a seat, and call it a day. So, Kane's Zeromus agility usually ends up around 28. And for those of you that play the game, you know that there are these magic numbers to deal with fighting Zeromus, and 28 is one of them. It's certainly not game breaking. I just, if you have an opportunity to really have an anchor, you want to go ahead and do it. And there's that Drain Spear. Now those are great for darting, which might be what we're doing here. But you combine that with I don't know. I like my anchors. I'm not an E-Ninja. I like my slow anchors. Maybe it's because I'm a slow man. I also love my heroine robes, which both of our runners have picked up here. Probably probably one of the more overpowered items. The fact that it's only a tier 5, I always find to be interesting. I wonder if when they redo, when we have our next update, and they kind of, shuffle around the tiers a little bit, if Herald Road might end up being a tier 6. It's just that strong and that good.
It could be. It could also be, though, that we're so used to seeing, with T standard, S standard, it caps at 5 there. So maybe it's just that since it's the best of the tier 5, we're just so used to calling it the most powerful.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so we're doing some healing up here. I wonder if Scarzer is planning on trying to take on some trap chests here, if he's going straight back. I don't know
He
that the
has
adventure...
an edge.
Do we have a... Without a Thunderclaw, I don't know that this one-shots. Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, well, what do I know?
I was more thinking you can steal sirens.
Well, they were for sale. Yeah, nice Protect Ring. The odds of a high tier are a little less in the tower than they would be at, say, a Cave Ablin or up on the moon. But, with the ability to one-shot, why not? So again, Scars are really showing off PB2J knowledge here. Oof, that was close. Of utilizing not only the overworld routing, there's a siren, but also for the attacks as well.
And Tybalt is through Octobam, about to face Theoden in Dwarf Castle here.
Yep. And we got a Berserk on Rosa, which is a very nice benchmark for her for the rest of your party. Even with an Avenger on, still nice with a edge in the party. Scarcer did pick up a glass hat as an excellent piece of physical defense, which is good. And again, showing off more of these jump strats. Look at him go. Alright, Tower Key being utilized. And
Just some dolls.
playing with your dolls again. So in the vanilla spot, of course, this is just 3 Dark Imps, which means it's like 400 HP or so. One Flame's going to have absolutely no problem taking out these dolls here. So no big doll for us today. Alright, we of course will not know what the key item is from here until Scarzer leaves. More than likely, he is heading up to the top of the tower, which is, I think, an evil wall.
Yep. Yeah, fight that evil wall, see what key item it has, and then hop your way down.
Now not plays with dolls. Let's see. This is a regrettable foot in my mouth moment for me here. There's a reason why people keep playing with the dolls, so there it is. So Tybalt is going to go ahead and show us our warp glitch. So does this key item having it early do anything for us? No. No, it does not.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. Why would you eat an apple that's silver? Or gold, for that matter?
I mean, they have to look pretty good, and, you get sick of the red delicious apples, I'm sure.
I suppose. I don't know. It's a little odd there. Love you too, buddy. So this is a battle that I would want to be anchored for, because it's a lot of HP and it's not terribly strong, but Evil Wall is basically essentially berserked the whole time anyway. And with a relatively fast cane, it's I can see a lot of actions being taken here. I do believe Scarzer bought a bunch of Drain Spears, so this would be an excellent opportunity to go ahead and dump them. But let's see how this goes. Meanwhile, Tybalt is kind of crisscrossing with Scarzer, getting the information about what's down here at the Feymarch, utilizing PB2J nicely as well to get his tower key. More than likely will not be taking on either one of these bosses, as Scarzer is kind of making his way through. Or he's not.
Doing a reset.
Yeah. So Where was our darkness crystal? Do you remember what that was behind? Was that Sheila 1? Football. So it's really interesting to me that we have a foo waiting in the wings for both of our party members. They know that there's a Cecil available, uh, but we haven't found a holy sword, although it's got to be somewhere. Um, this is it's very interesting to me to see the characters that our runners have chosen and chosen permanently as well.
I mean, white mage, black mage, couple of melee so far on Tybalt's side. I approve of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fu is just so broken in if powered up in the early game, and our runners have done a wonderful job of getting through a lot of bosses early, which means that Fu's going to come in with some goodies. I mean, if you have Fu for this fight, for example, a couple nukes and you're done. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
If you wanted to go ahead and deal with the giant, you can go ahead and demachine, even if it's not for a slingshot, or even if you don't have, your 6 and 6 or 12 and 12 or whatever, or 3 and 3 to get up there. You just get enough, enough to go ahead and go through, and you're done. I'm very curious and interested to hear the thought process behind the characters that were taken.
yeah. Because I'm curious about the double white mage on Scarcerer's side.
Yeah, I mean, two sources of Blink, two sources of Berserk is never a bad thing. That's for sure. Especially considering I don't think we ever saw Bacchus wine for sale. It might be on the moon, but I don't think we saw it otherwise. Um, Funnel Cakes likes to go ahead and say that the strongest healing magic is Blink, and we're kind of seeing that here with the Evil Wall fight. As long as you're blinked up, you can't get hurt when you have dangerous melee attackers. He's doing a nice job with the second round of this fight, using those Drain Spears. They are an excellent dart. We've got Blinks up. He adjusted his battle speed. We're doing a lot more damage now. Um, he's doing very well.
Can't seem to keep Kane up though.
Well, if there's one character to keep down, that's it. He'll be getting the XP no matter what. All right, and our Super Cannon reward is a glass set.
Decent enough, but not what you were hoping for.
Yeah. Did Tybolt do the top tower?
No, he did not.
Ooh, little Penguinator special. I see you. Tybolt with some bold moves here. Also showing off a little jump there to get over. We are rapidly approaching Crush phase. I can't imagine there's that much MP left on this Evil Wall. I feel like one more dart should do it. I think we've thrown 6 Drain Spears at him. It's got to be close. It just can't be that much more. And there's our Crush
Yeah,
phase.
it has to be a hit or two away.
Yeah. And Crush phase, Evil Wall will be acting slower than he would if he was attacking, and down he goes.
There we
Very,
go.
very nicely done for Scarzer there. So GG's can get through that. He'll probably be keeping the experience no matter what. Cure 3 is another nice moment. And there's the
Only an Earth
Earth
Crystal.
So good for the Treasury, but because both of our runners are up on their PB2J stats, they've already completed the Tower of Zod.
Yeah,
So,
weirdly enough, you may have been hoping for a package there.
yeah. Yeah. Not only a objective, but also another opportunity at a Cecil. You're not wrong. So Tybolt with the 40-minute football defense, as is free enterprise tradition, of course, which normally sounds silly, but in this flag set, it's completely understandable. And he's going to have some decisions to make. He's going to go ahead and be getting his Darkness Crystal, and he's going to have to decide what he wants to go ahead and do afterwards. Scars are going to get his quite disappointing news about the glass hat. So, lower tower of bust, unfortunately, unless Scarzer opts to check the treasury and we have something truly game-changing in there, which there could be. It might be worth a peek.
A decent holy sword, if you've been waiting on the Cecil all this time, wouldn't be bad to see.
It wouldn't be the worst thing at all, that's for sure. And it looks like he is going to be... well, He's thinking, he's like, do I not? And saving here, and
Ah,
oh yes, we
she did
parked
the
at the spot
thing.
we're not supposed to park. Yep. Love it. The visual of Kane jumping over a river though is absolutely fantastic.
Accidentally leaving one of your ships as you go up
Yeah.
Zot.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and rate that treasury. I apologize if I'm talking over rate that treasury right now. We've got nice Zeus Gauntlet, nice Stardust Rod, nice Power
Power
Shirt,
shirt.
another Drain Spear, Inventory Boss, cool. Second Dragon Whip,
Masa.
that's big, that's significant. All right, getting rid of some of the junk that we have here. We don't need that Iron Ring. We don't need that Iron Gauntlet. Right.
And that was a
Masamura
Mura and a white spear.
and the Dragoon Spear. Um, there are some nasty bosses that are weak to dragons, and Avenger glitching a Dragoon Spear, even if Kane is the hero, can be a way to go ahead and get through it. Um, oh, talking to the frog. Not sure if that was on purpose or not, but we appreciate it over here at the Restream. Um, Whenever it comes to decision of like, do I check things? Do I not? Do I do things? Do I not? In terms of like looting, shopping, etc., you know, the most simplified way to justify it is, will I get the time back? With those items, with that check, especially when you're going to be doing Cave Magnus here anyway, I feel like Scars is going to get that time back. So I really think he did the right decision by checking that treasury there.
Absolutely. That, I mean, the only way it could have been better is if you had some type of holy sword for your future Cecil.
Yeah. Speaking of Tybolt, pulling his Elon Musk and trying to get off to the moon, let's see who we have up here, shall we? That,
Wow, just a Sid.
yeah, Elvin Sorrow and Shambles, that buddy is not going to be taken anytime soon.
I would like to point out one thing here. We're
Hmm.
almost 45 minutes in, 0-0.
Yeah, yeah, that can't feel great. Um, we do have access to a couple of them as Tybolt moon jumps over the crystals like a stud. Um, no music check for Scarcer. Exits out. We have our item.
If Cecil's on Giant, we actually, I believe, might have everything that we need. Unless, no, we haven't found Adamant yet.
We don't have the package or the adamant rock. But yeah.
No, nobody has checked in Kaipo to see who's sleeping there yet.
Nope, no one's done that yet either. So, we'll see where Tybolt's headed here. Taking the quickie way down to the bottom of the LST. Tybolt's levels are not great. This is bold. Hopping down here right away. Now,
Well,
if you're going to
there's
do
a
it,
couple of free bosses left.
there are, but nice PB to J strats. Look at that, because you don't usually go down there unless you're doing traps. Because there's a vanilla trap over there. Really nicely done. Alchemy let us know that King, Queen, and Dimps are already out. Water Hag's still there. Have we seen both sets of guards, or only the Baron guards?
We've seen both.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it goes here. We're in the ribbon room. There's only... Oh, we can... That's right. We can hop over here and just get the chests. Unless you hop into it. That's heads up. And Rosa knows exit, so I think we're just getting a couple key items here.
Okay,
Oh.
Sand Ruby, that could be an answer, and I saw the Bahamut Orb.
Yep.
And there's a Rydia, you know?
There is, in fact, a Rydia. Not learning Bahamut. Not quite sure where we're going now. We have a save dropped down there. Every other boss in this spot does involve physically speaking to the altar. Up. Are we memeing?
Pink Puffs?
We are memeing. Now, you can do lots of things here. You can hourglass them. You can coffin them. Um, so this will be I want to say 100,000 experience. Um, and we are on Restream, and the belief is that should we go ahead and actually find a adamant armor here, that's it. Free Enterprise is done. We might be looking at the apocalypse. Tybolt, you absolute monster. You mad lad. You maniac. Oh my
It's only
goodness.
5 out of 64 chance, but we've never seen it happen.
It has, but it wasn't on the main channel. I think it happened on RPG Limit Break. It's low, Mateo. I don't.
It's 1 out. It's the encounter itself and the drop from each of them is 1 out of 64.
Oh, that's
So
right.
for 5 of them, it is 5 out of 64,
Yeah.
basically.
Also, not for nothing, these can be life glitched. For as hilarious as this is, this is actually a lot of XP. This is a lot of XP too. I mean, it is.
And potential elixirs.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not an amazing grind here. Can Edge steal an adamant armor from them? That I don't know. I don't know what he.
think so. I think the steel might be the elixir.
Okay. Well, my kingdom for a flan sword. Am I right? Get him, Rydia. You tried. So this is extremely entertaining here. You know what? I think. Oh, that's not the height luck glitch. So as we are kind of having fun with this, and we have Scars are kind of doing some of the checks that Tybolt's already done. I think this is an excellent opportunity to talk about how fun this community actually is. Everyone is incredibly nice. If those of you are watching in the background and a little afraid to go and hop in because of how close we all are with the memes that we talk about and the knowledge that we have, I don't know if that life glitch got off either. It did. Okay, cool. Please join our Discord. We are probably the nicest community of randomizers that I've certainly come across. Wolfshade, you're so sweet. It's just incredible people. It's a super fun game to play. It's a lot to learn at first, which is why we have things like our Pink Puff League, which is currently going on. You know, some real lame runners like Rybon, that guy who might know a thing or two, or Funnel Cakes or NG Dave. These runners that allegedly know things about this game, they have gone through that Pink Puff League and have gone on to be some of our strongest runners in the entire community.
Some of them even have the Sage role.
They do. This is true. So it's a great place to start. And don't forget to, come and say hi to us and ask questions. We'd love to have you in here. Well, Tybolt's done. 160k. Maybe not the most efficient grind ever was, but probably the most fun.
I mean, it works.
Oh, when the item screen popped up, I got real excited there for a second. Oh man, I think that little hop over there from Tybolt too was, just like, oh, so close. It was an ether tube, Mateo. So, great entertainment value, and not for nothing, we got some levels. So maybe we're going to take on this White Spear Altar now. We are still looking for an Adamant Rock. We are still looking for a package. A Pink Tail would be an Adamant Armor at some point. And Scars are crushing Elven Sorrow's dreams, as well as Sid stays far, far away from either of these.
All we know, we might even be looking for that Sand Ruby, too.
That's true. Which I believe we had, right? Didn't Tybolt get that from...
I don't think so. Or, wait, yes.
Yeah. So we have D-Lunars have moved one step over. Tybolt, speaking of bosses that would be good to have the Starbells for, Tybolt electing to go ahead and... was that an aim or was that an attack? That was a direct attack. So, we talked about the power of the treasury, right? For Scarzer, if and when Scarzer takes this fight, That Dragoon Lance, combined with the Avenger, is going to do some very, very, very serious work. Tybalt does not have that afforded to him, as we see another Sparkle over there in a required Cave Bahamut. We have our meta objectives being met with another jump over the behemoths. Very nicely done for Skarzer, not only achieving all of the lovely optimization of getting down here, but also doing our meta. Very nice. Skarzer also taking a King Ryu fight with 10 key items. We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And a life glitch. This is going to be 180,000 XP. And with that Dragoon Lance also on, there's a solid chance of it being weak to dragons in the first place.
The entertaining thing that I'm keeping in mind is there's that pan sitting there. And one of our required things could still be behind that pan.
It could. It absolutely could. The seed could certainly have jokes. Tybalt doing a very nice job bouncing over as well. So both of our runners have achieved their meta. Tybalt is going to show us that it is Plague. This is another example of where if you have everyone at RA1 with a cursed and drained Cane, this fight automatically becomes free. So, this Kane's going to do certainly a lot of work. Spears do extra damage against flying enemies. We see Rhodes doing a lot of work between the Harrow and Road because arrows also do a lot of extra damage as well. But Tybalt is going to have to go ahead and go old school here, where kill your own party members and they get brought back to life. It looks like we are trying to go ahead and reflect a count back onto Plague. Now, the Silk Web went off. The fast being reflected back on might be a little problematic, but we'll see what happens here. We're trying to kill that Porum, which I think we'll do here. We'll then bring Porum back to life, and that will end up reflecting the count, as long as Edge survives, back onto Plague itself. So the question becomes, is the one fast too much for Plague to go through? I think for the extra time of Rosa coming back up, and then if we get another runner back up and that time continues to go ahead and tick away, that might actually be enough to go ahead and overcome it. Because I don't believe that Plague was RA1 to begin with. So we should be okay, but we'll see.
And casting a slow.
Which is very heads up. And down it goes.
There it is.
Very nicely done.
Through at almost the same time, getting that crystal ring.
Beautifully done. Okay. Really excellent tech. I do love a good crystal ring. And there we go. See, it's not 0-0 anymore. Now it's 1-1. See, we're making progress.
Only about an hour in.
Wolfshade, you absolutely did earn an honorary degree in FERA Science. Thank you for auditing this class on this particular Sunday. It really shows your commitment to the cause, my friend.
I'm wondering, do they head to the Giant? Do they head down to Luca? Do they keep trying to find items? What do they do here?
I mean, with 10 key items, the Giant can be your grind. Tybalt more likely is checking to see if Cestal's at the Sand Ruby, because that's another objective. But if you can get through your Giant here, I mean, that's your grind. You're talking about about 500,000 of experience on here if you can go ahead and survive. And there's the man. Tybalt, you pessimist. Have some faith, buddy. He was there. He was there the whole time.
Is
My
he
goodness.
keeping him for something? Or did he really just... Okay, yeah. He really
No, he
did
did what I did. It's like, all right, we're going to waste our time with this check. See, he's not... Oh, he was there. Whoopsies. I do it all the time with, all right, Demas is not going to be here. Oh, it was Demas. In fact, I had a seed I ran last week where I went to go put on a hotkey for turbo, and then I reset out of a fight and lost like 15 minutes of progress.
Ouch.
Resets happen. It's up there with doing like a run buffer on a siren. So instead of run buffering, you end up like running away from the battle that you literally use a siren to be in the first place. Things like that happen all the time. But we've got our Cecil. Cecil has been taken. We do have an Avenger. So let's see where we're headed. That would be quite the sling on Cecil if we can go ahead and survive it here. And that's a Sparkle. That does not spark joy. If that's an Ogo, that's
That is a real note, bro.
that's rough. So that's going to be skipping right over that. I think we're just going to jump over that tile. Really no point in doing that at all.
He's cabining.
Right, so he's going to hop over it so that because you don't get a free heal from the CPU spot, you only get a heal from the heal from the element spot. So he's going to hop right over that. He'll get his experience somewhere else, and he'll go look directly at the CPU spot now. Meanwhile, Tybolt is looking for a Holy Sword. So off to Cave Evelyn we go. Or Castle Evelyn, rather, excuse me.
Here's luggage here.
Yeah, it's a little gross. You've gotten split XP, which isn't great. It looks like we don't have a Thunderclaw. And in the second phase of this, that laser can actually do quite a bit. The HP isn't crazy high here, but it's high enough to the point where it can be a little troubling. A Star Veil will make this basically free, because in the second phase, every single attack that Lugae does in the second phase can be reflected with the Star Veil, either reflected back onto Lugae or just absorbed. So it's fine. It's required-ish. Oh, there's an Adam armor. That helps. That little thing.
There are much worse, and we have not seen the alt gauntlet yet. So
this is true. So Tybolt continues to hunt. If it's me, I'd be hunting on the LST, but that's just a me thing that I like to do because of the odds down there.
I mean, Castle Sword likes to hand out crystal swords all the time.
It absolutely does. I mean, there's your one tier 8 that we have already, right? But it was only an advent armor, so that's no good. Clearly.
Of course, there is a problem. We do know that Cecil is in the seed, so there might not be any crystal swords.
Yeah, because the seed would in fact have jokes. So their scars are taken before any lasers or anything come out. That's almost 7,000 HP taken off. And with the HP totals that Scarzer has, I think he's basically in the clear here already. So really nicely done. Tybolt using Flame to take out the skulls, hoping that the Staleman has the goodies. We'll see there. And nice part about that Avenger is you can't cast Berserk when you are poisoned, but you can use the Avenger, but it doesn't matter. Down goes Lugae. Tybolt only gets a Ninja Star. That feels bad. And we are 2-2 here with two very different objectives. And that Sand Ruby might become irrelevant if it's Cecil up here on the Vanilla Giant. Which does not happen.
No, that's a tell. You're not taking it.
To answer a question in chat, why didn't they do Sealed Cave yet? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Because it's a really long, annoying walk in and out.
Yeah, it's a little rough. Tybolt will be able to go ahead and warp out of there. Scarzer at the moment does not have a warp caster. And that is one of the faster spots in the game. It has an agility of like 66. So it's a spot that you really want to go ahead and be ready for.
Yeah, if you are not aware, yes, this flag set, we do not always require every objective. Yep. In this case, we only require 5 in order to get the crystal and then go fight C.
Now, to Mateo's part, Scarzer did not warp glitch, so Scarzer doesn't know that it's a Zonk down there. This is a gross turtle. Whereas Tybolt does, so you can kind of justify why Tybolt hasn't gone down there just yet. Looking for, because he's not in Gomo just yet. So, fun fact about Kenatsu is that lightning claw that Edge has on, any kind of thunder will not do additional damage until the water is up. So that 2,000 damage was quite a bit, which is great, but you're about to see a whole lot more once an attack gets off here. I want to say there's about 19,000 damage here or so. These waves should be fine. Radio probably won't make it, but everyone else should. And he's through. Kenatsu is very often a DPS race. If you can survive the first wave, then the additional waves are only going to be weaker and weaker as Kenatsu's HP goes down and down. For those of you that don't know, the big wave does 4 to 7% of Kenatsu's total HP. So as he gets weaker, so do the waves. So Scarzer is going to get some information that we already have about the Zonk of a key item with the silver apple, but he will be on his way to completing his third objective and give us, the community, information that we don't have, which is what boss is here. Tybolt's Ice Brand hitting the ice weakness, which is what he's weak to when the water goes away. So nicely done by Tybolt.
Just a pink tail.
I mean, that's just an admin armor, so that'll be Tybolt's second, should he elect to go ahead and turn it in. And here is another example of that Dragoon Spear that's going to be able to do a lot of work. If you Avenger Glitch this, it's probably 2 swings and you're done.
Do.
Yep. If you want to get your dudes in chat, by all means. One more swing, and we are through. And if I had my kazoo from JonCon handy, I would be happy to kazoot for you as well.
Nice.
Alright, so Scarzer has completed his third objective. Very nicely done. We know where Cecil is, and we know that he can get access to it. So we are rapidly approaching no mode. We are just looking for an adamant rock or a legend sword. Let's see where Tybolt's headed next. This might be a Fey March check. I like it. We haven't seen either one of these bosses. Now remember, one of these bosses is Karate. Which means that it's free with Cecil. And the other one is Golbez, which is more or less... Ooh, look at that tech from Scarzer. Look at this. I have never even seen that before. I had no idea that was even a thing.
Yeah. It's basically warping.
I am just very, very, very impressed.
Yeah, you can't do it in every room, but there are several.
Really nicely done. So this is a free march now between Cecil for the karate fight and the adamant armors for the Golbez fight. The virus cast will not be absorbed by the adamant armor, but you get plenty of time to go ahead and get a star bill up. So we should be basically free here. And it looks like Scarzer is following suit. Hopping over that NPC. Ugh, I hate that one.
You know, some randomizers let you just remove NPCs.
Yeah. This is not one of them. It's part of the fun, part of the bosses, right?
I don't think Scarcerer has San Ruby. It was in the Ribbon Room. But if he finds the package here, and it's Cecil, he doesn't need to.
Very true. So, for those of you that might not know, karate is one of our quote-unquote free fights. The script basically indicates that just before that second kick that Yang did is queued up, if Cecil attacks, He says, ouch, and the fight is immediately over. So it's a very, very, very quick check. Let's see what we got here.
And it's the package.
So that is go mode for... that's go mode. And I think he's realizing that right now. And he's out of here. So, at 1 hour and 6 minutes in, Tybolt is in go mode. Burning the village will be 3, Sealed Cave will be 4, and Giant will be 5. We will more than likely go ahead and see Tybolt follow in the same footsteps as Scarzer did and hop over that Ogo, because that Ogo is disgusting. And the saving grace for Scarzer here will be what you just said, Aranor, is that, you know, if that package does in fact have Cecil, then we've got ourselves quite the race. Scars are opting to go ahead and do Golbez first. This makes sense. Golbez is the lesser of the HP. And also, Scarzer doesn't have that Cecil to make that karate fight free. That Leviathan spot has an extremely high attack power. In this game, the vanilla bosses that don't actually attack are likely to have a very strong physical attack. If you're going to take on that Golbez, they should. So the Crystal Ring is good because the Crystal Ring will keep you from getting paralyzed. What I would like to see happen here is have Rosa cast Size. The magic attack is so high that after enough reflected attacks, you can just go ahead and punch Golbez for 1, and he'd go ahead and go down. This is another example where being anchored would be very helpful because the spot is extremely quick. The flip side of that is we've seen Kane do a lot of work on some of the bosses as well. So it really just comes down to a matter of preference. Oh, good point, chat. I don't think we ever checked Watery Package or Watery Pass. That's a good point.
Yeah, well, I don't know for sure why some of these spots have it. I think what it is that they set the physical and magical damage and all just, you know, based off of the spot in progression story, and then they tweaked it as they needed to later. And so why would you tweak the magical or physical if your boss isn't using it?
Yeah. So as you dive into the randomizer, it's just one of those things. So this might be another wipe over here on this Golbez because it's just so stinking fast with Kane Hero. I don't think Rosa's going to have time to get anything off here. So if he were to size the party, what that does is because of the ordering of which status effects occur, long story short, the party would stay minied, but they wouldn't. There we go. There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful adjustment for Scarzer. Very, very, very good. So now you can go ahead and get your Star Veils up, no problem. So really excellent adjustment. And while this won't have the package, this might have the Adamant Rock, which would certainly make things a little more interesting.
Especially if C hero, you can hope for that Able Lance.
Yeah, Able Lance is pretty stinking game breaking, that's for sure. And I know I've been very pro Anchor Kane, but let me tell you something. If I have an Abel's Lance, we're not slow anchoring anything. We're letting that man go to town.
Plus the 2 mages.
Mm-hmm. So, there are the Veils. And now the fight is basically free. Very nicely done. Tybolt, without the Dragoon Lance, we're seeing just how strong the utility of that thing is. Just how long it took him to go ahead and get through that. We'll see what he opts to do to go ahead and get out of here. He's doing what I would do, which is a more traditional warping out of here. Which is probably still faster, but man, what Scarzer did was pretty cool. I had no idea about that.
It depends, like if, yeah, see, he's...
Man,
there it is.
I want to be one of the cool
That
kids.
is faster than warping.
Yeah, it is. Oh, this is fun. God, you guys are so smart.
Yeah. Once you know which ones you can jump in where, yeah, some places you warp, some places you jump.
Jeez.
Suddenly you want to play push me, don't you?
No. No, I don't. But I am very much enjoying. When I see it, it's funny. It doesn't matter like what it is, right? You know, it's kind of like why I watch the Olympics, right? I don't know anything about curling or speed skating or any of that, right? But when you watch people that are really good at what they do, you know, you can recognize excellence in anything. And so watching our runners today, you know, really put on a solid show. By the way, please follow them if you're not following them already. Um, Watching them put on a show with all of this tech, it's just fun. Still don't want to do it, but it's very fun to watch and commentate on.
Wow.
Just a
That
Bahamut orb.
really hurts for Scarcer and not having the Rydia, too.
Yeah. And now we're slow anchoring. Look at that. Now we got that Drain Spear on. 23 agility.
Doesn't have a Cecil either to help with the karate.
I mean, Masamura. I mean, not to make it free, correct. I think this is Tywalt looking for a Holy Sword here. I mean, Masamura Edge is no joke. But that lack of back row glitch is definitely a thing here, too. Because this is an angry karate. We're going to be punching. Boom! Right in the face. Look at that. That's no jokes here. And there is 35,000 HP here. This is not an easy fight if it's not free. Now, with 2 blink casters, if you can get some blinks up, okay, now we might be in some good shape here. But those blinks, while they'll help with the physical attacks, they will not help with the kicks. And we're seeing just how brutal this spot can be. So, not an easy fight. Scars are certainly shown the wherewithal to go ahead and how to get through it. We might be doing this again and dropping down the battle speed, maybe. Or just riding this Avenger glitch, getting some blinks up and going. So we'll see how this goes. 2,400 in the face.
Wow, that's more than you have.
Yep. That's no jokes. Oh, Tybalt got a Holy Sword. Was it a Excalibur or Fiery? Or Excalibur or Crystal Sword? Wasn't paying attention. The Holy Sword. Ooh, alright. So Tybalt is in go mode, to say the least. And we'll be in good shape for this to take on this Dr. Luge. So Scarzer wisely leaving. We know that it's his go mode, but we certainly can't blame him for not wanting to go ahead and suffer through that. So Scarzer showing off all the tech. I would be surprised if he didn't immediately do what Tybalt did, which is to go ahead and hop down to the Ribbon Room and check the Sand Ruby. And that's an easy save scum and check. So we might be see Scarzer heading toward being on the path to victory here. But it might just be a little bit behind Tybalt, as Tybalt is finishing the giant right now.
I love those big jumps on the moon.
I know that little detail that shows that they were able to go ahead and show the little gravity. It's so fun. Scars are going top down. Perfectly valid when you're only looking really for one key item, and there are 2 to go ahead and choose from. This could certainly be the Adamant Rock. The problem is that it won't lead to Cecil. But let's see who the boss is here. This should be mostly free. So that Mute Knife, if equipped, would actually be quite handy. For whatever reason, the Ruby, same with that Rune Axe, Ruby in this Elements form counts as a mage. So when we get to that Ruby spot, which is probably now, that Mute Knife would probably hit for quad 9s. Or close to it. Same with Rune Axe. So the magic here is a little bit high. This is not the easiest spot. So there it is. More tech from Scarzer. He knows what's up. Really, really impressive run by him today. There it is. Yeah, 5,000. And we're on to the next phase. That's probably the scariest phase that you have there, so that's really, really good. So Tybolt is going to be burning the Village Mist, and that will put him in go mode, and he has the pass. So we are rapidly approaching a Z fight. It'll be interesting to see if he wants to grind at all or not. I think he has certainly enough levels. Adamant, Crystal Sword, Avenger Cecil is probably enough to go ahead and get through. So, Aranor, I think that we have to maybe explain what's going to be happening here with this Z fight of ours.
Well, of course, Ceromus, too big, too bad to randomly place you. You don't want to have a backtack Ceromus somewhere with big bangs going off everywhere. So, this is randomizer though, so we have to do something. And so we randomize the sprite. We don't know who it will be, and they are some great ones out there. But the question we'd like to ask here is, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Indeed. And if we had some generous folks in chat, we might get some Z's in there or not, but that's perfectly fine. Scarzer got through that fight, and I missed what it was. Apologies. Thank you so much, Fiery.
It was a sleeping woman that was burning mist, which was fun to see.
Well, that's one word for it. I forgot what I missed what the item was from the Murasami altar.
Oh yeah, I did too. I was watching the burn.
Yeah, that's fair. I've actually seen runners. You can kill the character here before Titan gets summoned. I think it's like 65,000 HP, and I have seen people drop down the battle speed, anchor super fast, and just do a million like nukes and Crystal Vengers and all of that. You can actually kill the character there to prolong the scene. It's just not even remotely useful at all. So, when your objective is to burn the Village Mist, you don't actually have to go ahead and do the whole thing with the. You don't have to go in and get the character. Tybolt has his. He has his crystal, and he's trying to figure out what he wants his agility to be. So, without getting into the specifics too much, the magic numbers are basically 14, 18, and 22. 14, 28, and 42. And if you are just above those numbers, you're in pretty good shape. But if you are a little bit below them, it can cause problems. And it's a little complicated to explain why. The faster anchored you are, the more effective a silk web will be at slowing down the party. And so while we have adamant anchors galore, or adamant armors galore, and lots of firepower, someone like Tybolt is more than likely going to be fine, but this fight is still technically not free.
So, do you think we're going to see potato mist, vanilla mist, Kaipo mist?
That's a good question. I'm gonna venture a guess and say it's gonna be I don't know, miss, because more often than not, I have no idea what the sprite is. This Z sprite was responsible for me not knowing, it becoming obvious to the world that I've never played Chrono Trigger because it was Magnus. And I was like, oh, and our Z sprite is, I don't know who this is. And chat got quite mad at me. They're like, Burkhead, really? You haven't played Chrono Trigger?
It's a classic game, but I can see why not everybody would have done it.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it. So, all right. So, Scarzer fought the Mom Bomb. Is probably going to go ahead and drop a save here and get the good news from the Sand Ruby. That will more than likely bring him back down to Yang. So I do believe that Scarzer is well on his way. Oh, no. We're gonna keep on keeping on here. All right, so we're gonna hope for an adamant rock here. That'll be some good news. Meanwhile, we are gonna see who our Z Sprite is.
Question:
Sure.
have you ever seen Job Dwarfmas?
I have. I
That
have.
one's cute.
And once again, I have no idea. It looks
Not a
gnarly.
clue.
Not a clue. So I want to pay attention to the. Thank you, Alistair. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced 2. Yep, had no idea. So there's the nerf going out, and there's that Silk Web. Again, the Silk Web is increasingly powerful the faster anchored that you are. So if Kane is at an agility that's above 42, that makes Aromas RA3, and that Silk Web drops him down to RA6. Sir's got games and jokes, so no healing for Kane on that one. But we're dealing out a lot of damage here, so I still think we're in pretty good shape.
Scarshur is showing off the speed to jump in battle here.
Fun. Whee! So with that successfully nerfed Big Bang, I don't think that Thunderclaw is supposed to still be on though. Man, have I done that 9,000 times. So nice Cure 4 coming out from Rosa. We're in good shape. Scarzer gets through the D-Lunars with a 1 HP Rosa.
Yeah, that was... And only gets an Avenger.
Calculated. Out of spite, I would just keep that. 1 HP, I earned it. Thank you for the raid, Commander. We are in the middle of a level Z fight here. We have our Zerkers doing quite a bit. I think that little pause might have been the refill there.
I think so.
So this is more than likely a fake shake. It's always hard when it's not RA1. That's when my personal idea of what's a real shake and what's not kind of comes to effect. But I think I don't think it's a real shake, and we don't even see Tybolt nerfing here. So again, really, our runners today have done such a wonderful job. Again, these are some of our better runners in the community, and they have just done such a wonderful, wonderful job of really putting on a show for us. Aw, Kane. You tried, buddy. Rosa getting a little, or Rydia getting a little revenge over that whole package thing. You love to see it. That'd be a fun meta, wouldn't it? Have like Rydia kill,
Yes.
Rydia kill Kane. Oh,
Well,
goodness.
speaking of, I've been asking the community to submit ideas for basically meta objectives for a bingo.
I know that Lord Cooper was doing a lot of work on. This is a not nerf Big Bang. I know we have adamant armors. This might be a little sketchy. We're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Calculated. We're fine.
Yeah, that was made it.
So, and we will, with the damage we're putting out at this point, we'll probably go right to Meteor phase. So I think Tybolt is more or less through. A lack of Bacchus wine here is a bit of an issue, although we do have the Avenger, so I guess that's Cecil will kind of keep it on here. Yeah, Alchemy, the work you do in these flag sets is very, very obvious for all of us to enjoy, which is why the club has been going on for so long. There's Rocks. Rocks means that we are down to 12,000 HP or less. I do believe that we are basically through this fight. Tybolt probably even has the controller down.
Got clean the room ready to put in that dot done.
And there's our
Shake.
GGs.
Get your GGs out in chat.
Tybolt is our second place overall finisher with an official time of 1 minute 25 seconds, 25 minutes and 44 seconds. He got sniped by the button eater himself, Possumorpheus, finishing at 125 flat. GG's to both of our runners, and we'll see if they're going to go ahead and pop in for an interview. Great run. Great run.
Amazingly done.
Absolutely. Scars are with one of the more gross fights you can find on the moon.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's a Crystal Sword altar, too.
Yeah, which is not the most HP that there could be, but not great, and certainly not ideal. We lost one dart there. It's even more painful when it's not on. We had our free item, right? So this can't even lead to. This can't even lead to something else. Sometimes you take this boss on, it's gross, but at least you have two chances at finding your go mode, and here we know that that's not the case. Look at Porm hitting for 17. Look at her trying to help.
Hoping to see on Tybalt's side here in the log, the spoiler log here, see if we see where the adamant is.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. Well, hopefully, being the optimist that I am, we're gonna find it right here because we've seen a lot of our spots. There isn't much we haven't seen.
With that being, how are you doing, Tybalt and GG's?
GG's, I'm doing pretty good.
How'd you feel about the seed, buddy?
If I would have stayed in Edwood longer and having an earlier adamant armor, that would have been great. But I got an Avenger, and I'm like, good.
Yeah. I mean, you played well. Definitely got through pretty quickly there.
Talk to me.
Cecil.
Talk to me about party decisions. Yeeting that foo. Talk to me, buddy. Talk to me.
Well, with push speed to jump, you're really not going to be taking on that many bosses. And unless I'm mistaken, it's not Vanilla Foo. So he's kind of just useless.
Huh?
You're really going to take all, what is it, like 18 bosses or something like that with push speed to jump? Doesn't seem that useful. You're going to have some like Tela or Rydia just to have all the spells that you'd really want. I already got a Rosa for healing. The only thing I needed was a Warp Caster, and I'll take the Rydia.
Makes a lot of sense to me. You elected not to immediately jump underground with a quote-unquote hook route. What did you kind of have your routing in mind before the seed started? No, it was PB to J, or did you kind of look at your characters and see how the seed was playing out and make a decision afterwards?
I had a little bit of an idea of what I wanted to do for a route. I know with push speed to jump, you have access to a lot of gated characters early on. I mean, you've got the hook route. If you can have enough power, you can do Baron, Zot for 2. With the character objective on the table, as long as I had enough power to get through, Zot, I was willing to, take the 2 characters and get the key item at the same time, kind of avoiding going underground right away until I have somewhat of a decent party to be able to pop some sirens, possibly. Unfortunately, it didn't really happen, but, it is what it is.
No, that makes a lot of sense. A huge turning point in the match was your decision to go ahead and hop over the Ribbon Room boss, which of course led to your Sand Ruby, which led to Cecil. What was the? It was 100% the right move, but it's also a gutsy one too, because that's a long walk down there. If it's nothing, and you weren't horribly leveled at the time either, because that was obviously pre-Pink Buff grind, which we'll get to in a moment. Fear you not. But is that what was the driving force behind that decision?
Possible 10 key item. There's 2 chances for 10 key items. I was sitting at 9. So even if it was just a key item, cool, then I would have done, would have done the Pink Buff, of course, and then probably do some Gold Dragons for some experience, and then maybe take on the bosses there on the moon. Since it happened to be Sand Ruby, I only had 3 character checks left, Package, Sand Ruby, and Giant at the time. I'm like, well, if I go back to Earth, I still got the 2 Feymarch. Considering the time, nobody's finished yet, so it's not going to be that quick. So think of, the worst possible scenarios. Like, okay, well, nobody wants to take on Yang at Leviathan without a Cecil, nor the Golbez. So I'll go down to Feymarch after checking Sand Ruby, and lo and behold, it was the Cecil. I'm like, cool! I'm doing Yang now. I got to do this Feymarch.
Nice, man. Yeah, it worked out beautifully, dude. That's wonderful. Aranor, I need to apologize. I love talking to Tybolt, so I could
Oh,
talk all
it's
day.
perfectly fine. I was looking, and yeah, it's Pan from that demist at Crystal Sword gives the adamant from
Yeah, there it
Sheila.
So Sheila had both parts of the forge.
Yep.
Trying to save the world, Sheila. Do you really need, to beat your husband? Well, it doesn't matter. So you had a little hoppity jump after you got that Ether 2. When the item screen popped up, and like, oh, was that jump
Yeah.
like so close? Is that what that was?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it was kind of frustrating because I heard the music continue on. I'm like, aw. It just hurts when you hear the music continue to get like an Ether 2, Ether 1. You're like, come on.
Yeah. So, I think that's all the questions I got. Aranor, anything else you'd like to ask our restream winner today?
No, just GG's again.
Well, thank you. Always fun, watching these back. Two great people on commentary, and it's always a pleasure to put these on. Thank you for creating this club. It's going on 4 seasons now, and man, I've loved it ever since.
Yeah. Well, Tybolt, it's very well established that you are one of our better runners, and I'm very glad that you could go ahead and join us this afternoon. Thanks for putting on a really wonderful show and a great race with Scarzer.
Not a problem. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. All right. So
Clubs, I'll once again recommend to everybody that you join the Discord, check out our clubs, check out the community races.
Absolutely. So another defense sword, but Scarzer is going to get the good news that you were able to go ahead and snipe out for us. That Go mode is behind that Adamant Rock. Dropping down a scum save here in case it's not Adamant or Package, which is pretty heads up, which means that even if this wasn't the Adamant Rock, which we know that it is, he'd probably go down and be fighting that Yang next. Very smart heads up play. So now this leads us to the fun game of which forge is it?
For his sake, given that, he's still at 4 characters, and even if he gets that Cecil, level 1, I'm hoping it's the Able Lance.
As am I. There really haven't been any decisions that he's made that's like, oh, why did he do that? It just, it's Rando's going to Rando sometimes. So here's the good news. Kane's got good forges. The Piggy Sword is basically like his X-Cal. Gigant Axe is legit. It's no jokes. Abel's Lance is obviously, quite fun as well. Does he have any Zonk Super Smiths?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
So, because I know Cecil has like a Caliburn. So no matter what, this is going to be good stuff. We're going to hope that it's an Abel's Lance. So hop down here. Maybe do some shopping while we're down here. You can go ahead and buy a tier 6 item. He did not find a pink tail. Some things like power shirts might be handy. Or other things of that nature. But let's hope to find some Abel's Lance, because watching that thing go burr is absolutely incredibly fun. And our blacksmith does his best Grandpa from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory impersonation. Hops downstairs and take a look at the shop. Crystal rings are nice.
Nice. Play here at this point in time.
Yeah, right. And a defense sword, right? And ooh, let's go. Here we go.
It is the Able Lance.
All right. So this does jack up his agility quite a bit, but it's so incredibly worth it. There's go mode for Scarzer. He's going to get his crystal. He's got his pass. He's got his boom, boom, boom stick. Let's go. Let's have some fun with this, shall we?
Looking in Discord, the upcoming tournament that's being planned, they're currently prepped. They have a race anybody can join to test out the flag set.
Oh, that's fun. Yep, we have some very generous members of our community that have been able to go ahead and where's Scarzer going?
I'm not giant of. Not sure what he's doing.
He got his crystal. We saw it.
He forgot. Is he thinking he wants to slingshot somebody, or... Oh, he forgot he has the pass.
Maybe. Well, regardless, that's a base level Cecil. Don't know quite how helpful that's going to be. The good news here is that's a 2400 HP Rosa that you have over there. You might want to maybe start with like a Drain Spear on, depending on what the agility looks like.
Yeah.
Switch over to an Abel's Lance, and then go ahead and Avenger Glitch it. So Ninja Hat is +3 agility. The Drain Spear is -10. I'm not quite sure what the agility is at for Kane now. Again, you have your magic numbers of around 14, 28, and 42. If I had to guess, it's probably near the 28 region. But I didn't quite get a good look at it. But regardless, you have a pretty stacked party. 2400 HP Rosa could stomach Nerf Big Bangs and probably get a couple of Cure 4s off as well. And like we talked about earlier, when you have a faster anchor, Silk Webs are extra powerful. So I don't foresee there being any real problems here.
I mean, honestly, myself, I know I could get through with just the Kane and Rosa.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the fan fiction power couple? Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see from my reactive, I love Rydia. Rydia will help with some nukes, but nah, Kane and Rosa, you're good.
So, we have another Z Sprite. So I think this was Final Fantasy Tactics 2, I think someone mentioned in chat. A game that I've definitely not played.
No, I haven't even played the first advanced version. Played the Tactics on the PlayStation, though. That's a great game.
I did as well. I never got terribly far in it, though. Alright, so Edge is going to throw our crystal here. It's another quick shake. He did drop down to battle speed 2. So Drain Sphere comes off. Abel's Lance goes on. So now we have all the benefits. If anyone is watching and wondering why you do things like this, agility for our characters is established at the beginning of the fight and can't change once the fight has started. So even though that Abel's Lance is a plus 15 agility and the Drain Spear is a -10, if the game updated, that'd be a 25 uptick in agility. But because the agility is set from the get-go, that's not going to happen. So, nice little piece of tech to keep everyone at a reasonable speed, but also allow for there to be quite a bit of damage going through. And there's the power of the Abel's Lance, 6,000 with a swing right there. And another 3 from Edge. It looked like Scarzer was considering Avenger glitching the defense sword, but we made a nice adjustment on the fly. Seeing the shake, didn't want to mess with it, wanted to get the nerf out, got the Silk Web off to go ahead and slow him down. Almost 8,000 from that swing. My goodness gracious. We're in very, very, very good shape here.
Yeah, for those that don't know also, the whole Avenger thing. The way it works, the Avenger sword is glitched. And so it takes the weaknesses and that sort of thing, the stats, from whatever weapon you already had equipped, if you equip it while in battle like that. But it still applies to Berserk status.
Yep. Very true. And it's also very useful in this fight especially, because as we saw in the Tybolt fight, there was a black hole, and a black hole removes status effects, things like Berserk. And so if you've used a Bacchus Wine or you had a White Mage cast Berserk on you, you have to go ahead and do it again. But with the Avenger, you just kind of keep on keeping on. So it's a very, very, very powerful weapon.
I don't think we're going to have a Big Bang skip, but I don't think we're going to see a second Big Bang.
There might be enough damage to do... I think that nerf got off on time. Honestly, that's probably the best possible target you could have there. You have to time it pretty carefully. The shake indicates that the Big Bang has been queued up. And you have to go ahead and time the other... Oh, it was a fake shake. This one's for real. You have to go ahead and time it correctly so that when the counter nuke comes out, it drops down the spell power so that the nuke cast doesn't kill you. And if you time it correctly, the spell power stays down for when the Big Bang goes off. And then the Big Bang can do no more than 1200 damage. Otherwise, it can do up to, I want to say 2400. So, not sure if that was too early or not, but either way, I think we're in pretty good shape here, and we'll find out. It's very much harder to do on the on different relative agilities and also different battles for DS. So that came out a little bit too soon. But what we had talked about earlier, having Rose at 2400 HP, his party's so strong that he's in pretty good shape here. You got two people that can cast Cure 4, and we need to dodge here. Well, we got to dodge.
Well, at least the Cure 4 was already queued up.
Yep. So this is interesting. So now we got some decisions to make. I don't think that
good dodge.
Yep. All right. So if the animation goes off, that means somebody's getting hit. There was a great race with Tall Grant and Blue Wizard, may he rest, and he had Porum dodge something like 11 times in a row to get the win. Now I love this. Recognizing the situation,
nice.
You can jump. We have Artie. This might be my favorite stat, and for whatever reason, Porum's evasion in this fight has shown time and time again to be incredibly high. Fire, I don't know if she knows Life 2 at this point. She might.
Have an adamant on or something that she keeps dodging?
With that... Alright, so that one didn't dodge. Alright, so now we're in a little trouble here. So maybe a Cure 4 next time as a safety. We have probably about 6,000, maybe a little more than 6,000 HP left to go here. That one got dodged. We do a Cure 4. Still alive. This fight is great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I swear.
Scarcher's probably sweating.
Yeah, he's not having fun. Like I'm having a great time because I'm just watching it because I don't have to deal with it. Alright, so that one went off. So another Cure 4. Let's try to keep an eye on how much magic we have left, too. Alright, so yeah, there's no life.
249, plenty.
Yeah. So that's 40. So that's 5 more Cure 4 casts that can happen. Didn't see any Life 2 in there. So we need to dodge, and we'll do another jump. Uh-oh. Porum's ninja-like skills might be wearing down a little bit. The other saving grace that there might be, if there's an elixir in there, we might be okay. Oh, we're just going for it.
See, my choice here might have... my choice might have been get a Star Veil up and throw whatever to get the counter nuke and reflect the counter nuke.
Yeah, I don't know if you have enough turns to do that, though. And if you put the Star Veil up, then you can't cast Cure 4 on yourself, so it's tough. It looks like Scarzer has decided to go ahead and forfeit after that brutal fight. Totally understandable. There's no question that he would be able to get through it with another try. But after the mental exhaustion of hoping a 9-year-old can go ahead and dodge all the rocks, I certainly can understand that. So GG's to him. Great run, really, from start to finish with that. There's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Scarzer. That's quite an agile little girl you got there in that party, buddy.
Forgot to put a Chris ring on her. She'd have been quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was plenty of dodging there. That was amazing. We were hopeful.
Yeah.
I think she had a protect ring on, but I think if I had the crystal ring on, she would have maybe been a different RA value.
It might have. I don't know. What was because we saw that you had the Drain Spear on, but also the Ninja hat on. What was Kane's agility going in?
30. And
okay, that's really good.
And Porum would have had I think Porn was at 25, so she would have been at 30 if I put the crystal ring on. I thought about it going, and it's like, oh, I forgot to put the crystal ring on. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just got a little unlucky right at the end there. Otherwise, that was actually going fairly well.
But that aside, if you watch this back, you'll see I was in love with your tech today. I do not like push B to jump. I will not eat it here or there. I will not have it anywhere. No, Sam, I am. Nope. But watching you implement so much efficient tech with it was a lot of fun on this side of things. From knowing where to jump to avoiding your bosses to routing your key item checks, even when you didn't have the items. I really enjoyed watching you run. How did you feel about the seed?
My biggest mistake is that I had a plan.
I have to ask, why
You
two
care to-
white mages?
Why two white mate? Because I wasn't gonna go with reflex strats. Because like, oh, get Cecil, Kane. I'm gonna get. That's two good Zerkers right there. Extra white mage is safer, and I won't shenaniganize myself with a black mage. I've messed up Z fights because I've had black mage over white mage.
Makes a lot of sense. So hold on. What? Let's go back. What was this plan? What plan? What plan did we have here?
The plan was get Cecil, do the giant, win.
I mean, it is a solid plan.
And Cecil
I like
was buried.
it. Yeah. Did you see that he was behind the Sand Ruby?
I did not check it. I did not
Yeah.
check Sand Ruby. I'm like, let's do the giant first.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Like-
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once you got that darkness, if you had hopped up to the ribbon room, you would have had your Cecil.
Yeah. I also forgot that I was like halfway through a bomb fight when I remembered I could just have jumped over that one.
It's one I forget about too, and I do
Yeah.
a decent number of push B. It's
It's the one
yeah,
moon
no-
boss you can skip.
Yeah. At least you skipped over that Ogo though, because that, I mean, 65,000 K of Ogo in that spot
Yeah.
is not an enjoyable experience.
Oh, the real plan was also doing Abel's Lane Steam Machine, and I considered doing it at the end there, but I don't know how a second Giant of Babel trip works on Vanilla Giant.
That's what that was. Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. Because you're looking to sling Cecil, get him some levels.
Yeah, Sling Cecil. It would have been a quick little like 3x3.
Yeah.
you have
Feel
to
like
And it would have.
save now, so you can test it out and let us know what happens.
Yeah.
Will.
You know, it's amazing. I've been playing this game for like 2 years, and I've had the opportunity to dive into some really specific situations, and I swear there's always something new. And I have no idea what happens if you go to the Giant a second time on Vanilla Giant. I have absolutely no clue. That's an excellent question. We'll have to check that out at some point. I'm sure somebody knows. I'm sure like Simbu is like, oh, well, here's what happens, or CNC or somebody. But that's
Yeah, well-
really interesting.
I'm about to go do a pickup race with the tournament flags that the event team has been testing. So I won't
Yep.
hold you here any longer.
right.
I'll,
Yep.
All right. Well, Z5 aside, man.
thank you for putting on a show. Thank you for giving me an outlet to jump around in.
Well, thank you for putting on a show for us. We really enjoyed watching
And
your race, bud.
y'all have a wonderful afternoon.
You too, man.
You
Take
too.
care. All right, so that was Scarzer, our second runner. GG's to him. Really wonderful show that we got to watch here, Aaron.
Yeah, it was great race to watch.
It absolutely was.
Speaking of upcoming restreams, I believe we have 2 or 3 more this week.
Oh, do we? I haven't looked at the calendar in a while. I went back to work and like life just like it took over.
Yeah, we have on Friday we have the community race. That'll be over on Fanprice 2, and on Saturday we have tournament preparation club. That's here. That will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Love it. And I love that you said Eastern time. Some of us are a little partial to that. But I do believe that we are heading to today's overall winner, Possum Morpheus, who is streaming the pickup race. And for those of you that are interested in the tournament, you might want to hang around for that one. We have some very unique flags that have been established, and we are blessed with some really wonderful runners in this community, and Possum is definitely one of them. So I would stick around for that. But in the meantime, thanks for hanging with us. Aranor, this was a blast, man. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you for commentating with me. Always enjoy it.
All right, everyone. Great race. Alchemy, wonderful club. Great job from our runners. And let's all go say hey to Possum. Have a wonderful night, everybody.